welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to get into this lime green set, beginner friendly. I must say they are a favorite. So we're going to get into the products, which was just some clear, diamond clear from igel and Models 1 green. I believe it was from a rainbow kit. And then this brush I got from Amazon. So we're going to start out with the form by pre-pinching the tip. And then I like to open up the back of the tip, apply it to the finger, and then measure. So I am checking to make sure my line is directly down the center. And then I like to cut the sides to relieve the pressure. This helps to remove the gap. I'll put the foam on the finger and then rack it up. Just checking again to make sure my line is centered. And then I'll tighten it. But this finger is a little bit crooked, so I do have to pull the foam to the left just a little bit, just so the nail can be straight. And then I secure it. And so to keep the foam from moving, I make sure it is pinched tight underneath of the finger. Then we're going to go in with a peel-off base coat, a thin layer on all of the nails. This base coat, peel-off base coat I've been using for the last few sets. It's been working pretty well, so I will continue to use it, but a thin layer and then cure for 60 seconds, I believe it was. And then we're going to go in with the clear. This clear, not even a clear, but this brand is one that I definitely recommend for beginners. It is very easy to use. It's not sticky. It's like solid, firm in a good way, not too firm where you can't use it. It really don't matter what the temperature is. It pretty much stays wherever you put it. And so I definitely recommend it. Also, it was an air bubble there. And so I popped the air bubble. I like to get rid of those air bubbles during application, because if I don't, once I file it, I'll just have a hole in the nail. So I definitely remove air pockets. Then I'm just going around the cuticle area with light pressure by holding my brush further back. So the further back I hold it, the lighter the pressure. The closer I hold it to the bristles, then it's more pressure. And so you can see I'm using a little more pressure, and then I'm dragging down the extra polygel to my desired length and width, making sure the whole nail is covered from side to side. That will help prevent the nail from cracking at the free edge. Okay, so I did cure it. We're just going to pretty much go over that same process with the middle finger, squeezing out all of that polygel. Like, I did not want to waste it. That brand is one of my favorites, so I definitely don't want to waste it. But we're just going to squeeze the bead out and then move it back towards the cuticle area. This way, so if I squeeze it on it and then pull it back, this helps to ensure that I get a tight, clean, smooth cuticle area. That way I don't have too much, or it's not flooding, or it's not on the skin. And so that is a method that I like to use. Squeeze it in the middle of the nail and then pull it back. Making sure my whole nail is covered from side to side. And then bringing down the extra to the desired length. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed, but my middle finger nail bit is shorter than the other fingers. And so I have to scope this one a little longer. I'm just showing you guys the angle that I hold my brush while sculpting. But so for instance, for my ring finger and pointer finger, I'll scope that down to a 7. And then for the middle finger, I'll scope that down to a 8, because it is shorter than the rest. And then once I file, I'll make sure they all even. But just getting my shape in. I try to do a really good application so I don't have to do a lot of filing. So I did do a quick cure there for like 10 to 15 seconds. I put alcohol on my finger and then I pinched it at the free edge. And then I go in with the tweezers and pinch some more. And then I'll do the final cure, which was for another 30 seconds. I'm sorry, for another 15 seconds. Okay, so this green, very pretty color, which is shocking because this one, I don't know if Model 1s changed their formula, but this one was a lot easier to use. Some of my other Model 1s, they are like sticky and runny and just annoying to work with. But this one was actually fairly easy. It didn't really run. It ran a little bit, but nothing that you can't deal with. And it wasn't sticky. So I definitely recommend it. I will link the kit in the description. Now the brush I got from Amazon. I believe it was a pack of 6 or 7. I believe they went from 1 to 14. I'll also add those in the description. The brush felt fine in my hand, no issue there. The issue was, it was like the brush was eating all of the alcohol, like it was absorbing all of the alcohol, so I felt like I had to constantly dip my brush. Now I don't know if it was the polygel or the brush, but I'm definitely gonna give the brush a second try before I say yes or no to it. But I do like that they have bigger sizes. Again, this one was a size 12. But yeah, so now we're just pulling the polygel down to about a 7, I believe that was, and just getting the shape in there. And then we did cure it for 30 seconds. I'm repeating the process. I like to squeeze a large bead out and then pull it back. Pull it up towards the cuticle. I do apologize, guys, that pinky be difficult. And I do squeeze out air bubbles as I go. Again, you don't want those air bubbles because they do show. They do leave holes once you start filing. But we're just going to pull it back to the cuticle area and making sure that the whole nail is covered from side to side. And then, yeah, it's not a whole lot to that. It's pretty much the same thing. But I wanted to make this video beginner friendly. I wanted to do like simple steps so you guys can, for you who are trying to use forms, hopefully these little tips and tricks will help. But just make sure your nail is fully covered from side to side. That will prevent cracking at the free edge. A clean, tight cuticle with nothing on or under the cuticle will help with the lifting problem. So I did cure that. We're going to remove the forms, and the clear ones was fine. They cured with no problems. The green ones, which they both was cured for 60 seconds, but they were still wet underneath. So I just want to remove that form gentle, and then smooth out the underside. Put the polygel back where it needed to go. And so with a wet brush, dipping in the alcohol, putting the polygel, smoothing it back out, putting it back where it needed to go, which the bulk of it would be down the center. Making sure there is no air bubbles. Again, I did show that on my last video. If it's an air bubble underneath, it will show through the top because it'll just be like a light spot. But yeah, so we're gonna pat that back in place, and then I did give this another 60-second cure. And then be sure to wipe the nails off with some alcohol. The sticky layer, if you don't wipe the sticky layer off, it will feel like it's uncured. So be sure to remove the sticky layer. So I'm going to go in with a raw footage now so I can explain my shaping and filing. And then I'll check back in after. This is why I file up and down instead of back and forth. So if I put my hand file along the side of the nail, and even if I hold this side, you see, okay, let me even try to move it up, right? So if I hold it like this, I'm going to have more pressure at the top part of my file where the top part of the nail is versus the bottom half of the nail, because naturally I have more control and naturally pushing more pressure here in my fingertip than I am at this part or this part of my finger. So even if I move my finger back and put my file on there and even holding it, and that's for any nail, I still have more pressure where my pointer, where the tip of my finger is versus where the center here of my finger is. So that is why I don't file this way, because I'm naturally putting more pressure at the top, which means this part of the nail will be filed in more than that part. So if I take my hand file, hold it, all I'm doing with my hand file pretty much, let me back out a little bit. All I'm doing with my hand file is just holding it in a sense. I'm taking the nail I'm going to put the nail on the file, and you can see that the whole nail is not touching the file, so I naturally have to rotate the finger a little bit just so the whole side of the nail is connecting, and the nail or the hand with the nail on do the bulk of the work. So I'm just holding the hand file. I'm going to align it, rotate it, hold in my hand file, take the nail, trying to keep it so y'all can see, and with the nail I'm going to go up and down, not the file, the nail. And I'll do that on both sides. Even if I'm holding it this way, the nail, I'll hold the nail here, is what do the bulk of the work. The finger, the hand itself is what's doing the work, not the file. Because this way, this ensures that I hold my file straight, and I'm taking this little pink line here and aligning it with the center. You guys can't see it, but I'm aligning it with the center of my nose. So that way, that ensures that my hand file is straight without being angled in different directions. So making sure that that is lined up, and I allow the hand with the nail, even if I have to hold it, to do the work for me. I'm just holding this, and this is what's going up and down. From this side, same thing. This is what's going up and down, not my file. I'm just holding my file steady. So hopefully that will help when it comes to getting a straight side. Oh, and let's do the tip too. Same process. All I'm doing with the other hand is just holding the file. I'm taking, usually have to take my thumb and hold the nails, usually because they're a bit long. And then the nail, the hand with the nail on it is doing the work. I'm just going up, making sure my pink line is aligned with my nose. And then I'm just going up on the nail until it gets straight. I don't want to, let me do this. Let's try to, let me get a clean paper towel. I don't like to file at my desk, it's too messy. But let's take the clean paper towel, take the hand file. I'm gonna hold the hand file. This nail is going to do the bulk of the work. At this point, I'm turned a little bit to an angle, so this part of my hand file is aligned with my nose. That way it is straight. Holding the hand file, the nail don't fit that way, so I have to rotate it down slightly. And then this, I'm going to go up and down on the file. Same thing on the other side. I'll turn. Sorry, y'all, gotta get some space going here. My desk is only but so big. This way, take my hand file, hold it. And even if you gotta hold it, however, whichever way is comfortable for you, just hold your hand file comfortably and straight. This is aligned with my nose. I'm gonna take the nail, try to turn it so you can see. And the finger itself is what's doing the work, ensuring that the whole side of the nail is connected. And then I'll do that on all of the nails, which I will do at my sink in a minute. But then I take the hand file again, holding it, using the hand over here to do the work. And I'll clean up underneath on all of the nails again, and this is how I'll clean the tip. I prefer my green file to do my shaping because it's a lot quicker, it cuts right through it. But that is my process. I'll just, this hand, the hand with the nail is the hand that will do all of the work when it comes to the filing. Okay guys, so hopefully that will help explain why I prefer to file up and down versus back and forth or side to side. And so now I'm just going to go in with a fine comb bit over all of the nails. These nails were a basic sculpted nail, so they didn't require a whole lot of filing. It wasn't too thick, but I am going in with my fine bit just to make sure I removed any dips that may be in the nail. Now I'm just going to go in with my hand file, filing around the cuticle area first. And then I like to file down the sides, kind of making like a C motion in a sense, going down the whole side of the nail. You will see in a second, so this side has scratches and the other side don't, which means I have not filed that side. And so if you see shiny spots, keep filing over the nail until all of the shininess is gone, till the whole nail has scratches on it. So I'm just going to repeat the same process on the other side. And then as you can see down the center, it is still shiny. So I'm going to take my hand file and file through the whole body of the nail. Again, making sure the whole nail is chalky and covered with scratches. I do this on all of the nails. Now I'm just going to go in and clean up my shape just to make sure they are the same on both sides, nice and crisp. And whatever I do on one side, I do on the other side. And then I'll go in and clean up the tip. Okay, so I do like to wash my hands right after. So I file in 2 sessions. So I'll file the first time, wash my hands, take a quick little break, and then file again and wash my hands. I usually see something that I missed the first time doing filing, so that's why I take the break. It'll help me see that. And then I definitely like to wash my hands after each filing because I do not like that dust to get in my top coat. But here's the nails. These are the rhinestones and charms and accessories that I went with. I felt like black and white would have been really cute with this green. And this made me realize that I don't have any black charms or accessories, just that one little bit of rhinestones. If your rhinestone picker isn't picking up, just scrape it on the hand file a little bit and that will help it. So I'm going in with the Vanillisa top coat, a thin layer, making sure the whole nail is covered. A thin layer, swiping it down, making sure the sides and the tip have top coat on it. And then just removing the extra off the side. So I am using a chunkier stone, so I will be going in with a little bit of that clear polygel. I put the polygel over top of the top coat because if I put the polygel down first and then the top coat, then the charms would just be sliding all over the place. So I'll put the top coat down, then polygel, and then put the chunky stones on or into the uncured polygel. Then I go in and add the rest of the accessories. There I put a rhinestone underneath because these little green ones, they are point backs, not flat backs, so they do not sit smoothly on the nail. And so putting that little rhinestone under there helped to balance that chunky stone, helped to keep it up. And so now I'm just going in, starting with my bigger pieces, working down to the smaller pieces. I must say, like, I love bling, right? Every set always has some type of bling. But this part of the nails, I actually do not like. I do not like doing the bling part. The little things always sliding around. It's like I'll put something on it, then I don't like it, and I got to take it off and start over. So I'm not a big fan of doing the bling, but I have to have bling. But anyway, I'm just trying to make sure everything is lined up straight. And then I gave that a quick cure, probably like 15 seconds because I still needed to do the the pointer finger and the pinky finger. Okay, so while you guys watch me struggle to put the rest of the rhinestones on there, my question to you is, which brand or kit polygel would you guys like to see next? If you can just leave it in the comments, I will appreciate it. But here you can see I added a rhinestone. I didn't like it, So I decided to try another rhinestone. Thought it was okay for a moment, but then I started realizing it was just too much, and I didn't want to take away from the middle finger and ring finger, so I wound up removing that one also. Then I wound up just keeping it fairly simple on those two fingers, just putting some regular rhinestones. But anyway, guys, thank you all for taking the time out to watch my videos. So here is the final set. I absolutely love these. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys was able to learn something from it. And thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.